Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. Now today's episode, we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. I was here meeting for this big sweat event because I assumed it was going to occur here. But then I heard a few other players mention that they were going to the chemical factory. So that's what I did, is I said, hey, what's this chemical factory? I should go check it out. Now, I was just checking for messages from Bonnie. Yesterday, at the end of the auction page, it said she would get back to me about posting the items. And she hasn't reached me yet, so I don't know. Maybe the items didn't qualify or what happened, but I'm assuming probably she's really busy with all the live streaming and Entropia stuff, so I just gotta be patient. Right, so as soon as I hear back from Bonnie, I'll let you guys know if my items will be on the auction. A few people posted that they hadn't heard about the auction, and they were glad that I notified them about it, so yeah, big shout out to them. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, chemical factory. Oh man, do I ever have some good news. It's like a couple of the plants that I harvested were my favorite strain of weed that someone gave me seeds for, and they're really hard to find. It's the government strain, what is it, Ghost Train Haze. It's basically known as the most popular, well not the most popular, but the strongest, and yeah, I guess it is the most popular sativa strain. God, he's like right next to the turret and not dying. How does that work? So I don't know, I came here to the chemical factory and there was a whole bunch of people sweating. Said hi to them, joined the circle. How much sweat did I get? I didn't even check. Oh, 600. I was going to say it only lasted for about an hour here, so I was a little bit disappointed in that. I was kind of hoping we'd sweat longer. And you can see that's the one knock I have with Arcadia sweating, is it's quite a bit slower to collect 1k sweat. It's not the end of the world, but it would be nice if it was more closer to the Rocktropia rate. I don't know if the Arcadia, or yeah, if the Arcadia planet designers ever want advice on like how to make the best sweating creature. Look at Rocktropia and go to Studio Gate South. They have a mob there called the, what is it, the Hater. And it's got 300 health points. And the damage it does, it's strong enough to kill a solo sweater if they're not wearing a ring. But if you put on a couple rings like dodge and health, you can solo sweat them. So that's where you're getting into the really good sweating creatures, is 300 sweat per creature and being able to solo sweat. If you can design those, that's sort of like the uber sweat creature. And then if you put a few of those on your planet, don't be surprised when you see a whole bunch of people just showing up to sweat it. Once they gather the sweat for it, they're going to be on your planet and they'll be looking to spend it. Like they'll sell the sweat, then they'll have extra Project Entropia dollars, and they'll be able to sell it. Or not sell it, they'll be able to start buying stuff. So say you're wanting more money spent on your planet, that's a good way to do it. That's the one thing, like, people might be thinking like, hey, planet partners shouldn't do this because giving away all that sweat is just going to bankrupt their planet. But then you have to remember, look how much sweat actually costs. Like, it's way less than a penny even of real money. Like, I think it's 1/100 of a, maybe even 1,000th of a penny for 1,000 bottles. So the game developers themselves, like the planet partners, they don't lose money by giving out sweat. It's hardly any. Well, I guess they do lose some, but very small amounts. Like ridiculous. Compared to the oil rig, it's probably like night and day. Yeah, speaking of the oil rig, let's head there. Maybe I can run into some of Beamer's old friends and talk to them. Scrapyard, there it is. Yeah, what else was there? There were some comments. Oh yeah, and I've seen a whole bunch of new Entropian YouTubers starting channels, so I'm trying to subscribe to everyone. If anyone has a channel they've started and I haven't subscribed yet, just give me a notification in the game or something, let me know. You got a new YouTube channel or Twitch page or whatever. Now I was kind of hoping that, like, when I watched Entropia streamers before, there was a couple good ones that I liked. To be honest, I only really seen like 2 or 3 channels. I think Raven Jade, Serial Overdrive. I used to watch Pig Bennis, his channel was pretty good. I think he moved on to other games. And I know there was a few, oh yeah, McCallie, I think she had a channel I checked out a few times. Oh, and Bonnie. But I was thinking, it'd be neat if we had like thousands of YouTubers doing channels for Entropia. So I was like, hey, maybe I should do a show that's like really wild and out there, so that people won't be too nervous to do their own show, because they'd be like looking at my show going, Jesus, I can do a show better than that. Okay, I hate it when that fucking control shit happens. Man, that pisses me off. It's like, great, I pressed a key that makes it so I can no longer control the game. That's the best key ever to press. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to the auction now. I'm a little bit nervous some items will sell and for less than I had hoped. So maybe Bonnie has like reserve bids. I'm hoping there's something like that in the auction. But even if there is no reserve bids and I lose a lot of money, at least it'll be fun to help Bonnie's event. She's done so much for the game already with Twitch streaming that really should try to pay her back a little. So if anyone else has really cool rare items and they want to sell them, maybe try Bonnie's method. We'll see how it works, you never know. Could be a disaster, no one bids, or... To be honest, I'm really broke, so I don't really plan on buying too much from the auction. Probably nothing I can afford. But who knows, hopefully after the first auction I'll make a few sales, and then I'll be able to save that money for the next auction coming around, and then I'll be able to buy some items then. What I was thinking of doing is shopping for rings. I almost bought some really good rings when they were at rock bottom prices, but then I got the fucking deeds on Greece instead. Let's see, how are the Greece deeds doing? 6 ped. Whew, harsh. Yeah, so that Ghost Train Haze weed that I harvested like last week, still too wet to vaporize or smoke. I think it's at day 5 or 6 of drying, and they're medium-sized buds. Actually, even closer to the small side. No! Yeah, it's like never repair random people's vehicles like that, because I actually keep mine low for a reason. Yeah, it's funny, these people are watchers of the show. Hey, thanks guys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Sometimes this oil rig actually... Oh, they were saying it goes dry, but... he's faster than me with the axe. Fuck, it was funny. I seen the oil, I couldn't get it because I didn't have the axe equipped. Man, how dumb is that? Oh well. Not really gonna get too mad today because I'm in a better mood. Some of the people that I watch on YouTube are going through some stressful times with the lockdown and all that, and they said they're starting to come around from it, so I'm like really happy about that. Yeah, I almost got the first oil barrel, but too slow. To be honest, every time I miss an oil barrel like that, it pisses me off so much, I just want to leave the oil rig. I don't know, I gotta stop getting so frustrated easily. I noticed patience used to be one of my strong suits, but it's definitely not like it used to be. She ain't what she used to be. Back in my day, we used to buy drugs from gangs. Yeah. Yeah, they're asking if I'm recording, and I was like, yeah, I like to do shows in the morning because I find I get more energy in the morning. It's a guy thing, I think. I don't know if girls experience that too, but no, I definitely, like, in the first few hours in the morning, it's like my energy level is like 10 times what it is through the rest of the day. So that tends to what I like to work out, record, pretty much any physical activities. I know it may seem like a weird time to be up that early in the morning, but I think that's just from like Now, I've been talking about the auction a bit today's episode. What else did I have to keep today's episode exciting? I think what I should do is wait over here for the oil. Normally this is where I pick up barrels. Now, I still didn't see Beamer's friend around. I wonder where he's been. I think he is occasionally a pirate in space, and then other times he would be here collecting oil. Can't remember his name, but if I see him, I'll recognize him because he looks pretty uber. I don't think it was McJack, someone else. Now, really, if you want to collect oil from this rig appropriately, you run in circles and you keep looking at the rig so you can see the trail. Oh, and here's another trick too. If you're at this oil rig and there's too many players here collecting oil to actually have any chance of getting the oil, this is a good place to be like, hey, does anyone else want to help sweat? And then some of the people that are frustrated that they can't get the oil too, they'll be like, hey, yeah, let's go get sweat instead, until the oil rig dies down a bit, and then they'll come back later. Now, if anyone wants to do some PvP killing, this would be a good place to come. Could help me wipe out everyone. Just kidding. It's like, you kill everyone, I pick up the oil. Sounds like a good plan. Man, did anyone hear the news of my city? Probably not if you're not on my Facebook, but it's like I live in the town of Kitchener, the biggest German colony in Canada. Or at least it used to be. I don't know if there's a bigger one now. But no, apparently some women were walking their dogs at the park, and all of a sudden they were looking at the animals that are running around, and then they seen in the bushes stalking them a freaking huge cougar, like a 300-pound one. And if anyone's wondering what a cougar is, or a Canadian cougar, North American cougar, it sort of looks like a female lion, like, you know, like a lion without the mane or whatever. So it's like, shit, you definitely wouldn't want to run into one of those, right? So anyways, like, the one lady saw it, and then she said she panicked at first and like froze, but then eventually came to her senses and was able to walk away without it attacking. And she thought that she was like inches from getting eaten alive, right? So she freaked out and like called the city and told them that there's like a wild cat, it's escaped a zoo or something, and it's in the park. And then yeah, the city's like, no, sorry lady, you're just making it up, you're hallucinating or whatever. So then what happens later in the day, or I don't know if this is the same day, maybe it's multiple days, another lady's walking her dog in the park, same thing happens. Her dog is like spooked, she's like wondering what's going on, looks into the woods, this fucking giant lion or cougar just like stalking them, and it looked like it was gonna jump out and attack. So same thing, she was like, could this really be a lion or a cougar? And she stared at it for a long time to make sure, and then she was convinced, yes, it was a cougar. So she's, same thing, she calls the authorities and tells them like, look, there's a fucking cougar that's escaped out of a zoo or something, and it's in the fucking park, someone needs to come catch it and take it away, right? And then what does the city say? Same thing, like, sorry ma'am, it's like, you've misidentified another wild creature, there's no way there's a cougar in the park. So it's like, I'm almost tempted to go to that park because it's only a few blocks from my house. Like, shit, go and check to see if there's a lion there or a cougar. I was like, wait a minute, that's probably not the best thing. Unless I bring my new vlogging camera, I'll make that episode 1, exploring for cougars. That might actually get a lot of views. Not those kind of cougars. Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Like, I was thinking, like, how the hell would a wild cougar get to, like, our city? And even the city officials, same thing. They're like, there's no way, because we're, like, really deep into a city. Like, we don't even have bears here, because there's, like, no habitat for animals to live that big. Like, we got woods and stuff, but there's so many people around, there's, like, no woods that's, like, dense enough that there wouldn't be people walking through every day. It's like our city's just flooded with people, so the parks is like crowded as hell. But then I was thinking, I used to believe that was true for our whole city too, but then I got a job working at a country club golf course, and I had to open the washrooms on the course at like the crack of dawn, like 5 a.m. right when the sun was coming up. Even after, well, it was still dark in some cases, depending what time the sun was rising. So yeah, I was driving to open those washrooms, and one of the washrooms was on the very far end of the course, and there's like a lot of woods, like when you're not on the course, if you happen to hit in the woods, there's actually fair-sized woods on the golf course. Some of like the oldest wood trees in the city that never got cut down. So I was driving the one morning, and I saw a dog without a leash. So I drive up to it, I'm like, oh, whose dog is this? I was almost thinking about petting it. And then I looked more carefully, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a fucking dog, this is a coyote. I was like, holy shit, what the hell is a coyote doing in the city? So then I checked online, and I was like, how the hell did a coyote get in the city? And they say what happens is our city actually has different access routes that animals take. So like animals will be in the woods somewhere like up north, where there's lots of the animals and lots of habitat, and what they'll do is they'll start wandering south, because that's where I live. Like, I'm on the most southern tip of Canada. Like, I actually live further south than millions of people in the States, because Minnesota is like way farther north than my province. Ah, fuck, getting attacked. Oh no, he's attacking someone else. Holy fuck, there's like creatures everywhere attacking me. No! Yeah, so it turns out when animals are up north and they're wandering south, sometimes they'll get onto the trails, and these trails include train tracks, but they also include, is that an AI? No, it's a player. Yeah, so these trails include train tracks, but also rivers. So sometimes they'll like hop onto a river trail and just keep taking it south. So eventually they actually come all the way to the city. It's pretty wild, right? Oh, come on. Meant to hit run, not teleport. I'm gonna try to lure these Ortons away. So if I come back to collect oil, which I probably won't. This is really boring. I can't stand here and just collect oil the whole episode. I don't know if I'll be back here. Yeah, I guess I will go back there. Those guys seem like they're pretty into the show. Maybe I could talk to them for a bit. Maybe I can get one of them on as a Skype caller. That'd be neat. Alright, so let's fly back there. I'll keep the axe equipped. See, that's what I was thinking. Well, I almost bought the old speed ring. And like, I really should have a speed ring, like the perfected one, so that when I'm picking oil, I can run faster than everyone to pick it up. Because that really is a crucial step there. You can see, like, I was way in the lead of that guy. And then fucking running towards it, what do you know? He just passes me because I have the fucking no axe. Ah, there it is. Yeah, Ghost Train Haze is some pretty tasty weed. Actually, that was one of the first strains I ordered from the government. And I was really skeptical because I'm like, hey, everyone's bashing the government's weed. I'm like, is it really as bad as everyone's saying? So when I ordered the Ghost Train Haze, I was very skeptical. I'm like, okay, this weed's gonna be shit. People say it's moldy, bad quality, all this stuff. So then I tried it and I was like, oh my god. It was like 10 times better than any weed I've ever tried in my whole life. The smell, the texture, the quality, the trim, everything, the crystal count. I was like, holy fuck, this is like out of a magazine or something. So I was like, never again did I ever believe the skeptics. Well, actually, technically, those skeptics are right partially. Because what I did after I tried Ghost Train Haze, I started ordering different strains from the government to see which ones they had, if any were better. And what do you know, every strain I ordered after that wasn't as good. And some were actually really bad. Like, I wouldn't say really bad, but I would say like some were just like your average weed that you would buy anywhere. So I was like, okay, that's, if people are bashing the government, maybe they just ordered that kind. So technically they would be right. So I don't know if anyone's discouraged about ordering weed from the government. Like, even the prices on the government weed. A lot of people were skeptical, saying, oh, the government weed's prices are way too high. And for a while they were. But ever since people started bitching about that, the government's like, fine, and they fucking lowered the prices. So now the government price is actually cheaper than any illegal dispensary online. Which I find kind of funny, because some people are still calling them expensive. I don't know, maybe people use TeamSpeak or something. I'm pretty sure whatever platform you have that you can communicate, I can use. I shouldn't say that because I haven't really tested any, but I'm very confident. Confident to the point where if it doesn't work, I'll be yelling and swearing. Now some people are like, man, you shouldn't yell and swear like that, it's not good for you. And I'm like, it'll give you high tension. I'm like, well, try bottling it all up until you get a fucking ulcer. They compare it to that. Grass is always greener on the other side. Maybe you gotta mix up the two. Get a little bit of hypertension and ulcers. All the good shit. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, forget equipping the axe. I'm just gonna keep this thing. People get the oil on me, that's cool. I'm surprised no one offered to let me get the oil. Like, hey YouTuber, would you like the oil? I'd be like, yes. You ever think I'm too proud to take handouts? Well, the best nation is donation. Oh man, I was worried that the Ghost Train Haze, when I grew it, wouldn't taste good. Holy fuck. I tried a few of the different tricks and finally I think I got them to work. Instead of using Miracle Grow, this time what I did is I went for the soil most recommended at Canadian Tire for growing weed, which was, I think it was called Pro Mix or something. It's probably got another name brand to it. But anyways, instead of adding those, what is it called, the slow burn nutrients that you can't flush out of your plants, these ones specialized in just good soil with coconut fibers. Apparently weed likes growing in coconuts. So that was cool. So I tried that, and I also tried the harvesting at night so that it would have the flush that they were talking about. So I was like trying to get that flush working. I don't know if that's what caused it, but this weed tastes fucking good. Like finally. I think this is the first time I've grown weed in like 2 years of trying now that was actually tolerable to smoke. Or vape. Oh man, I'm so behind in my trimming. I've got like fucking my whole house just covered in fucking plants hanging upside down drying. Not my whole house, I should say my whole basement. Technically my house, part of it. And isn't it funny, weed? It's like, when you're in a house with weed drying, it's like I become immune to the smell. Like I can't even smell weed at all. Sort of like when you go to the washroom and it's like you can't smell your own stench, but when you leave and like come back like 10 minutes later, you're like, holy shit, I reek. Turn the fan on, Jesus. No, just kidding. But anyways, too much information. Yeah, so I was thinking, man, my house doesn't reek that bad weed. So what happened was, is I went disc golfing, and I actually hadn't left for a few days. This was last year when I harvested my 40-pound plant. So anyways, I fucking went disc golfing, and I hadn't left the house for like a few days because I've been trimming and trimming and trimming for like, I think was I trimming like 14 hours a day for like 2 to 3 weeks. It's fucking ridiculous how much I had to trim. So I got so sick of trimming, I'm like, man, I never even want to see weed again. Especially after I trimmed it all and it tasted like shit. I was like, oh fuck, I just did all that for nothing. It's like you're gonna end up making edibles of it, you don't even need to trim it. Yeah, so anyways, when I went disc golfing and came back, what a nightmare. It's like I'm biking home, I'm like, surely I'm not gonna smell any weed when I get home. What do I know? Fucking a block from my house, I could fucking smell it. I'm like, oh my god. It's like I feel so sorry for all my neighbors. I fucking like stunk up the entire neighborhood. It's like, Jesus. It's like I was like, I don't know, at least like 6-7 houses away, I could still smell it. I was like, holy. So I guess that's the one drawback they never really tell you, like when you do get legalized weed and you grow it, the smell of the actual plant, I was surprised, it was very weak. It's like unless you're like 6 feet away, you couldn't smell it. But man, when you dry it, that's a fucking different story. It reeks so bad when you dry it. Like I guess if you're harvesting a normal amount like this year's batch, it just makes your whole house reek. I haven't actually left to, oh yeah, when I went to work, but I gotta drive home. I could smell it in front of my house. As soon as I arrived, I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you could do about that smell. I've heard about, what is it, smell ionizers? Like they remove smells from the air using electricity, but I doubt it's actually strong enough to work. Yeah, so some guy is like crashing up there, or he's landing up there. I don't know what's going on. See, that's what I was thinking. If Entropia made some sort of destruction derby event in the game, and players would like smash their vehicles up on purpose, then we could start selling the vehicle blueprints we're looting from the fuel cells. The Sandrunner fuel cell print. Because man, if we start looting all these vehicle prints and trying to sell them and we're just not using up the vehicles, it's just going to drive the price lower and lower. And then all of a sudden vehicles will be worthless. So that's what I was thinking, like people to have fun in Entropia, they often like get together maybe to go hunting, they get together to go sweating. But I was thinking they gotta make some sort of more social events that we can do in the game where people get together to do stuff that really doesn't use any ped or smaller amounts. Like a destruction derby where you smash vehicles up. The other thing I noticed on that Swunt page is they were talking about some after party occurring after the big Swunt event. So I was thinking maybe if all the Entropian YouTubers want to come and hang out, we should do like a big joint event where everyone records. It'll be like the story of Jesus, where we can all see the same story from different perspectives. Like the many books of Jesus. Now, that's what I found funny when people talk about the Bible. And they're like, well, each book in the Bible tells a slightly different version, so how could it be true? It's like, well, obviously, when multiple people have something occur, everyone's going to have their own point of view of what happened. So if it actually was the same account on each one, that would be more indication that it's bullshit. I don't know, what's that big event coming up? How many more days away are we? Oh, fuck. Yes! Woohoo! Yeah, I kind of grew up on Simpsons, so sorry if I give out some occasional Simpson slurs. Better not do the Apu ones or I'll offend everyone. Now, I often found that weird that people are like offended by the Apu thing. It's like, isn't that like really something you'd be proud of? Like, I don't know, if like I was part of Indian culture and I noticed that a lot of my countrymen had like always taken over a certain field, especially a hard field, like running a corner store or something. I'd be like, yeah, proud of it, right? Like, why would you be upset about that? It seems weird. But I guess some people just don't like the whole stereotyping thing, no matter what it is. And I think what it was is Mike Myers realized it too. Like, he used to make fun of different Indian stereotypes in his movies, and then he eventually got called racist for it. Or, I guess, not racist, but yeah, maybe racist. Because that one movie he made about India got voted like the most racist movie ever made. I was like, oh, poor guy. It's like he was just trying to be a comedian and funny. I don't think he was intentionally trying to make fun of people. To hurt feelings or whatever. Yeah, I was wondering what happened to Mike Myers. I was like, I haven't seen him in a long time. Remember, was it Austin Powers? Wayne's World is what I knew him from. Wayne's World is my generation. I used to watch Wayne's World on Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. When my parents would go out partying, we'd get to stay up late while they were gone and watch Saturday Night Live. Yeah, Saturday Night Live was a really good show back then. To be honest, I haven't watched it in quite a few decades, so I don't know what it even is about anymore, but I kind of got out of the whole TV thing once I realized that, like, hey, I gotta try to be more active mentally. Holy shit, I just found another one. See, I was wondering, people are saying the oil wasn't spraying out. I was like, well, what happens if it just sprayed out far and you guys didn't go pick it up? I didn't even see that one shoot out, so maybe it was like an hour ago it shot out. Yeah, so that's one trick too. When you show up at the Arcadia oil rig, it can't hurt to do like a bigger lap, because sometimes the oil shoots out a little farther than they expected, and then people just don't go out and pick it up because they're like, oh, it must be close. Well, that's not too bad. Like, this oil rig, I almost got that third barrel. So you can see, like, if I do a whole episode here just an hour, I'd probably be pushing 5 to 10 ped if no one else was here and I could just pick it all up. See, the nice part about these oil rigs, if you put an oil rig on your planet as like a planet partner, this is like the gateway. Where now it's like, if I'm a poverty player and I don't have enough to deposit much, and I'm just like doing Entropia partners to get money on the side in the game. And Entropia partners, well, if you're doing that, you're probably fucking loaded because it really helps you get ped for the game. But anyways, if you're low on ped and you're considering going to other planets to try them, if they don't have an oil rig, the chances of you recouping your cost and being able to afford to get back, like to put more oil in your ship to fly back, is low. because maybe you're gonna have to pick up fruit then. Then if you pick up the fruit, it's gonna take a long time. Like you can see, like when I pick up fruit, I don't really reach 1,000 stack that often. How many times have I put a 1,000 stack together since I started the show? I don't think any yet. And plus too, all your fruit will just be per planet. So once you leave the planet, you have to start all over and collecting. Oh man, I love the Ghost Train haze. Like man, I got a really good buzz from that hit. I was thinking probably because I was fucking vaporizing indica a lot lately. So that indica sativa switch, that'll usually hit you like you haven't smoked anything. But after I build up the tolerance to this, I got no choice. I'm gonna have to quit vaping again for a while, or I won't be able to catch a buzz from anything. Holy shit, man, I fucking love the taste of this weed. Thank God. I was worried I was gonna do 2 full years of growing and fail completely again. And that last greenhouse, I know I was complaining about it, but I messaged my buddy who's like really technically inclined. He's like a Tesla, and yeah, he's from Croatia too. He always was like, Tesla's Croatian. I'm like, no, he's Serbian. Like the whole Serbia-Croatia thing. I think what it was technically is Tesla was a Serbian, but he was living in Croatia when he was born. So technically you could both be right when you argue about that. But anyways, I'm giving him a shout and asking if he could help me assemble it. He actually assembles ovens and stuff for a living, so he's really good at assembling stuff. And I figured the greenhouse really doesn't have that many issues, it's just me sucking at assembling it. I should have realized, because I was having issues with like basic tasks for a long time after the concussion. And I've just started to be able to approach more complex tasks. And this one was still a little bit out of my reach. You have to know your limits, right? Like, can't rush the recovery. Some people said it takes like a decade to fully get over some symptoms. I was like, holy fuck. So I'll be like pushing 50 by the time I recover from it. Or a decade, yeah, I'll be in my 50s. Now it's funny how fast a decade goes. If any young people are watching, like, try not to spend your whole life playing Entropia, because you'll be surprised, like, when you're young is when you have the chance to do a lot of different things that you can't do later on. But later on, you can still play Entropia. So really, it's like, you kind of got to balance it out. Don't spend all your time doing something you can do when you're old while you're young, because the stuff you can do while you're young is limited. Very, very limited. Now, I have to wonder why they don't teach kids that in school more. Like, a lot of kids in school sort of get the idea that they have lots of time to do stuff. They should kind of try to break the reality that, man, life goes by so quick. It's like, you'll be surprised. It's like here you spend your whole day partying all the time, and then you start to realize, like, shit, there's no time left to do anything. Especially traveling, like a lot of the YouTubers I'm watching recently, I think one of them's like pushing 50 or whatever, and you can see like traveling for him is already at the point where it's a pretty good adventure with his age and all. So I'm thinking, man, I was hoping to start traveling soon, and then this whole pandemic situation, but... And it kind of worked out with my uncle too, because I have to stay home and look after my uncle. I can't even leave my house for more than a few hours because I have to come back and help carry him. Then when you're going back and forth to a washroom, helping some feed and dress people, it's like, it's a lot of work. So in a way, it was like perfect timing. If my uncle had had all this happen like last year or the year before, then I would have been really screwed, because with the pandemic, I pretty much had to stay here and do this anyways. I was staying home, might as well be doing something. Alright, we're a little bit far into the break time, so let's give her a go. Today's oil rig adventures were brought to you by Crack! Crack, it'll fuck you up. Woo! I probably shouldn't stand on this rock because, to be honest, I usually see the oil from that rock, but it's never really close to me. So I might as well just like run somewhere where the oil is likely to drop. So when I see it, I don't have to run far to get it. Especially if I'm like trying to outrun someone with the axe equipped. Could just equip the axe, but... Oh yeah, and the other thing I forgot to break yesterday is someone was telling me that there's an event page that tells you all the information about the big sweat events on Arcadia. Not just the Swunt one that I've been advertising, but yeah, let's bring that one up on the screen again. Yeah, I'm way more careful opening the windows now. I just paused the show for a second, so I don't know how many boobs I've had to edit out. Okay, let's see what else we got here. What was I looking up? Oh yeah. It's so easy to get distracted. It's like you ever open Google and you're hoping to search something, but like within seconds of opening Google you get distracted by something else and you start working on that and you're like, oh yeah, the whole reason I went to open Google. Alright, so I'll bring up this page. Let me increase the zoom a little bit before I do. Alright, everyone who's collecting the oil, they can take a break from me picking it. I should stop picking the oil because I'm pretty sure no one else has collected over a ped already. I should kind of share, not always be hogging everything. Right, so here's the Arcadia forum, and there must be other posts about sweating stuff going on. Here's the big event. I'll just remind everyone, September 27th at 1600. What is today? So we're less than 10 days away now. Sweet. And I don't know if they've released a location. I'm pretty sure it's Arcadia, I would assume. But the actual... We'll be hitting Fire Crystal. Is that a teleporter? Let's go check. Okay, I'll hit teleporter here. We'll say cheers to these guys. I'll disappear magically. Yeah, so we'll go check out where this place is. Not that like last time how I missed the event because I didn't go and check it out first. I should have scoped out the scene the day before so I could know how to get there quick. Finishing quick is supposed to be my specialty. Tasty. Now yesterday I was playing my Clone Evolution game. Holy shit. Man, did I ever get a lot done in it. So I was wondering if today was going to be a day in Entropia I'd get a lot done too. Right, so here's the information about it. 3k sweat for each player at a rate of 2.5. Holy crap. See, that's going to be my favorite thing. It's like I was hoping to make some money on Arcadia this trip and not go broke. Being able to sell 3k sweat at 2.5 will give me 2, 4, 6, 7.5. Yeah, it'll give me 7.5 ped. Or Project Entropia dollars. Should be sweet. So the other thing I heard was that there was a weekly sweat event where people meet up at that chemical factory to sweat. And they were saying that it was every Friday and Saturday, someone said, but then other people are like, no, they actually changed it, so it's only once. Can't remember if it was the Saturday, maybe? Yeah, I love the races. I hope people do more races. Maybe that's what we can do. Instead of doing races, we should just organize our own destruction derbies. Yeah! So it's like everyone has to start with like a vehicle at full TT in a certain area. We'll deem something the destruction derby place. And then what the organizer will do is everyone has to prove that their vehicle's at full TT. And then someone will be like the event starter or something. They'll be like on the count of 1, 2, 3, and then as soon as everyone says go, or the organizer says go, everyone can start smashing their vehicles into each other, and the person whose vehicle explodes first wins. So I was thinking, wouldn't that be a neat fucking destruction? Or maybe someone's already done that before, I don't know. And then whoever like wins will get like a prize, and hopefully the prize will be enough to, like, say a new vehicle and then plus an extra amount of money. It's not that you destroyed your, well, I guess you can just repair your vehicle. Yeah, what am I thinking? But eventually the TT value would diminish to nothing and you'd have to buy the vehicle again, so. Yeah, so I think that'd be a neat idea for an event. Does anyone else think so? Alright, we made it to the teleporter. Let's go check out, what did I call it? Fire crystal? Here, let me just do a quick walk around here. Because I find around this place I can usually find some fruit. And we got a little bit of extra time. I just want to show people that usually around the teleporter is not a bad place to just walk around the teleporter and see if you can find some fruit. Like, I bet you I'll find some green fruit. What is that stuff called? Bombardo or something? That orange fruit is sometimes around here too. What is that? The papillon? I love it when I find stacks in Arcadia, because usually they're decent quantity stacks. I don't want to jinx it, but man, I've had over 100. It's like, and that's so much better than other planets, because a lot of planets give 20 stacks out. Come on, fruit. Don't let me down. Alright, now that I got a day off work today, I'm going to have to try to get some more shit accomplished. I don't know if I'll do the vlogging shit or cleaning, but there's a lot of stuff I got to do. I was thinking I might open that package with that new scale. Haven't even fucking done that. Oh yeah, I can. I got to work on the greenhouse today. Keep forgetting priorities. If that fucking greenhouse gets attacked by wind, war, and rain before I finish assembling it, it'll be fucked. So I got to give it another try. Come on, fruit. Hopefully it didn't pop up and I didn't even see it. I mean, you hate when that happens. Whole waste of things popping up. Your mind out of the gutter. Man, I'm tempted to keep my Ghost Train Haze at this moisture. Even though it's too wet to vape, it almost reminds me of that dank weed. You know when you get danky weed and it's like, it's just so smokable, but it seems like it's extra strong because it's still danky. I don't know what it is. It has that taste to it too. Oh, it's so good. Thank God. Today was like a miracle day. So far, so good. Shouldn't jinx it. Yesterday I had a few close calls at work, being too clumsy and almost getting into accidents, so I'll have to be careful. Fuck. Not 20 anymore, so I don't fucking heal overnight. That was a weird thing. I always wonder, like, is it true when you turn 40 that your body starts acting differently? I was like, I didn't really notice anything. And I talked to my dad, and my dad's like, no, he's like pushing 60 and he's still doing all the athletic stuff. Or no, is it 70s pushing? I was like, holy fuck. No, he was telling me into his 60s he never really felt it, but then getting, yeah, 70s feeling it. Starting to wonder if he has to go for surgery because he's been dancing too much. Yeah, my dad's into nightclub dancing, so this pandemic hit him pretty hard. People always ask, like, why aren't you into nightclubs all the time? I'm like, well, do you really want to go somewhere your parents are hanging out? Sometimes I go to nightclubs, I guess, in other cities, but I don't usually go to nightclubs in my city, just because of that. I don't mind hanging out with my dad so much, but I think in nightclubs would be a little awkward. Yeah, I can't find anything around here. I shouldn't complain too much though, because really, didn't I just rake it in with that fucking oil? You know what I love about Arcadia too? Compared to Next Island, every time you're at a teleporter, you just turn, look, and there's a command post. Was that fruit on the ground? No. Seeing hallucinations. Damn ghost train. I'm on the train to hallucinations. Now my back is feeling better though. Holy fuck, man. This ghost train haze might get my fucking workout routine back in rhythm. That'd be nice. Now that's what I was thinking, like, once I started getting like a lot of bad health issues going there, I was like, maybe I've been overdoing it with the working out a bit too much. So I definitely did cut back significantly. Like working out a couple times a week instead of every day. I really do want to phase back into the everyday, but I'll give it a little more time. Alright, so yeah, look how much oil I've already picked up. Like I was telling the planet providers, I've almost reached the amount of oil I need to fly back to the planet I came from already. So if you want people to come to your planet, that's a big kicker, right? Because that makes people more willing to take the risk. They'll be like, hey, I could go there and get back. Holy, I almost have a K done. That's the shit. Yeah, my fruit supplies are pretty low here. Oh, I've got 800 of the oranges. The papillon. I don't think it's actually called papillon. Why do I keep calling it that? Papillon, that's it. I added an A in there for some reason. And do I want more A? What could that be? Alright, let's see. Fire crystal, fire crystal. I do not see fire crystal. Let me check that again. Make sure I read it properly. Okay, it says here, the largest one I've seen in the game will be hitting Fire Crystal once again. But this time, Smuggler Mechs and Orton spawns at Firebase are 100% happening. So is it at Firebase or is it at Red Fire Crystal? Getting a little bit of mixed information here. Let's see, is there a Firebase? Fearless Firebase, Fearless Firebase. Yeah, I noticed that Arcadia had that problem where sometimes they name everything so similar you can't tell the difference between anything. Like Formidable Firebase and Formidable Firebase Academy. It's like you gotta kind of mix the names up a little bit more, I think. Alright, well, I cannot find any sign of a teleporter called that. So maybe what I should do is I'll get the page name of this place. We'll type it into Google. Hopefully Google opens on this. Sweet. Okay, what I did is I typed in Fire Crystal Firebase Arcadia. See what shows up. Yeah, it appears there is one called Fire Crystal. So we'll be doing a bit of a teleporter run. Yeah, that's what I forgot. I should explore Arcadia and get more of the teleporters. Ah, here it is. Fire Crystal. The coordinates are... Let me see. $15,294. Now, what I was saying before, man, one of the first trips I went up north, I'm like, man, what are all the stores going to be like in the middle of nowhere where there's the hick towns and all these people live that are like, lived there for families of generations and like so many small towns. So I get to the small town and I go into the convenience store and there was a guy from India working. I was like, man, that's hilarious. Not to make fun of it, but I was like, man, it just goes to show you, they got a lot of people from India seem like they love working at corner stores or owning them. Even way up in northern Canada. 15-2. Now, Apu from The Simpsons was always my favorite character, so I was actually really sad to see him go. Maybe one day they'll allow him to come back. Maybe the actor that played Apu has to identify as an Indian man, and then if he does, then he can. $15,294. Now, to be honest, I haven't watched The Simpsons in quite a few years anyway, so I wasn't like devastated to hear that Apu was gone, but I haven't actually watched to see how they've changed it. Did they put someone else in charge of the Quickie Mart, or what happened? Alright, so 2296. Whoops. It appears that's the one right there. I already have it. So let's go there and see if that's what it is. Maybe it was on here and I just missed it. I don't see anything called Fire Crystal. This is very confusing. At least it provides me an adventure. Yeah, so big shout out to those guys that I seen at the oil rig. Thanks for watching the show. If any of you guys use Skype at all and you want to tell me your story about how long you've been playing Entropia, how you found out about the game, that's kind of what I want to hear from a whole bunch of people. Be interesting to know. The hell is this? An oil rig? Watch I come here, there's oil everywhere. I'm like, yeah! It looks just like the oil rig, eh? Trippy. I like the water. Alright, so it says, well, let's check the map. Is this the same location? What the fuck? No, it says 25. Now, I just gotta look at a map and see where it says Firebase. This is getting annoying as fuck. Where's just the map? Ah, here it is. Where's the zoom out button? Oh, there it is. Alright, here we go. Now I got the map. This should make it easier. Yeah, the map says there is no Firebase location. So that makes a little bit more sense. Maybe that's why I can't find it. Or Fire Crystal, that's what I'm looking for. It says fearless, fearless, formidable. No Fire Crystal. So I'm looking for a Fire Crystal place that one map says exists, the other map says it doesn't. This is very confusing. I don't know what's going on. Did they change the maps, or it's probably just me. Oh my god. Yeah, lucky I started looking for this before the event. I can imagine I'd be trying to record the event and I can't find any base on my teleporter or on the map that's called Fire Crystal except for this one list, and when I go to it, it's a different teleporter. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So I don't know, maybe I could recommend it to the people that have posted this. Oh yeah, Late Serial Killer. If he could post like picture on the map where this place is. I can't find it. My teleporter doesn't have it. I looked up the Arcadia list of teleporters, doesn't have it. Found one place that mentions it, but it doesn't match any place on this map. So I don't know what's going on. I'll try reading the list again. Fuck. Yeah, no sign of it anywhere on this map. I'll go back to the other one and see the coordinates again. I wish like the map on Entropia, when you want to make a waypoint, you could just type it in instead of having to select the spot on the map. Because this map feature just, it's so hard. Like I have the coordinates, but I can't put the waypoint there. Like I want to just like have a fourth option, enter waypoint, and then just type in the fucking coordinates. Why am I struggling to fucking find it? Because I can't get this fucking map to work. If there's a teleporter anywhere near the place I have to go, I can't even put a waypoint because you can't put waypoints on the spots you need to go, like any teleporter. Oh, so frustrating. Okay, focus, man, focus. I hit back and nothing happened, so I'll hit back again. Okay, here's the list. It says fire. Oh, it's the Arcadia Underground. That's why. That's why it's not on the map. Duh. Yeah, so maybe specifying that thing that if people aren't familiar with the Arcadia Underground, that's what they should do is get more familiar with the underground. I didn't even know the event was there. That's funny. So no, like there's a chart here on the screen, and if you read over it shows you. Here, I'll show you. See here, I'm up here looking at Planet Arcadia teleporters. So I'm thinking this is a list of all the teleporters on Arcadia. So then I go down here, I see Fire Crystal, gives me coordinates. So I start looking. Did I keep reading over? No, because if I would have read one column over, it says Arcadia Underground. Maybe you should change it up here. Say Arcadia Teleporters and Underground. So people are like, hey, this isn't just Arcadia. There's like a whole nother set of teleporters. Fuck. See, I think, yeah, like the game's probably set up for really smart people or ones that can like figure shit out quickly. For people who are a little slow, it couldn't hurt to help us out a little. Right, so is Arcadia Underground finished? Yay! Okay, so where's the list of teleporters? Oh, it's because I'm not at the teleporter. Duh. Right, at least I managed to figure out that problem just before the end of the episode. I probably would have got a bunch of comments or people like, haha, can't even find the Arcadia Underground. When you used to have a shop there, your favorite shop. Well, it wasn't my favorite shop, it was the best sales shop, I should say. Yeah, I'll show everyone my old shop and we'll see if it's the same owner. Try to remember, I think it was to the right. Maybe he has a big sign there like I used to. Yeah, that was kind of sad. After I sold the shop, I missed it so much. I was like, I just didn't really come back. Okay, there was that section. I think my shop was this one. If I had to guess, it was this one. See who the... Oh, is it Yoshi? Booth 10. I'll have to look in my records. Maybe it wasn't booth 10. I know it was to the right of the machine. Or no, maybe not the machine, because I used to have like a... wherever the Arcadia Underground dealer was. So say if the Arcadia Underground dealer was here, my shop would be here. Maybe that's where it was. It's kind of hard to remember where the Arcadia Underground dealer used to be. No, this one hasn't been sold yet. So maybe it was that one, and now Yoshi owns it. So it was either that one or that one. Is this one even for sale? No. I think somewhere it says on a list who the former estate owners were. So maybe I'm still on a list like that. But anyways, man, I miss that shop. When I had the shop here, or wherever it was down here, it was selling sweat stacks of 10K for 30 ped. And I would put like a whole row of them, try to leave Arcadia for a couple days, and they would all sell out. So I'd have to fly back to Arcadia and restack it all. It was funny because it was a good business. I was buying sweat for like, I think the sweat prices were higher than like 1.5 or something. But still, to be able to sell it for 3 ped a K, that was good prices. Or good sales. Shouldn't say prices, that was high prices. Right, anyways, let's get on with going to see Fire Crystal. Alright, so hopefully this episode isn't a total waste, and if anyone wanted to go to this event and wasn't familiar with the Arcadia Underground, this could help clear it up for them. I made some of the stupid mistakes for you. Oh yeah, these things. What was it? Me and Beamer used to come here and hunt these things sometime, and we got globals from them like crazy. Like, I don't know why we ever stopped hunting here. Maybe the loot slowed down or something, but for a while these things were really good. And I think I remember sweating them, so that's how we started like figuring out these had good loot. So maybe that's what the Swunt is all about. We'll be swunting these creatures. I hope so. I haven't been here in years, so I should test, like, how hard are these to swunt? Yeah, I miss the Arcadia Underground. Like, really, that was one of the peaks of my fun in having Entropia, was in Arcadia Underground and that whole deed situation started happening. It was wild. I had a blast for that. Especially because I was raking in the money. The good old days. Oh fuck, a second one started chasing me? Did it really? Holy fuck, high aggression. Like here, they wouldn't attack me, so I had to run closer. Oh man. They're just devastating me with huge hits. Come on, turret. Fuck, when I need the mob, you fucking kill it. But when they're attacking me, you just let it live. You bastard! Okay, can I get one of these guys without the turret killing me? Or without the turret killing it? Holy shit. Oh, this is a level 5. Oh yeah, I was going for level 5. Is there anything smaller than a level 5 of these things? Can anyone post in the chat after the episode? Alright, so I'll wrap it up. Yeah, this thing's definitely going to kill me sweating it solo. But you can see that if we got a big team together, we could probably handle these guys. And if they loot good loot, like globals all the time, this should be a fun event. Does it say what we'll be sweating? I'll check. It maybe says it here, but I can't find it. Probably looking right at it. I don't have time to read the whole thing. Yeah, because we'll wrap up the show. Hey, look how much sweat I'm getting from this creature fast, though, right? Like, despite me dying and getting hit a lot, Oh, 5? That's nothing. Oh, because I turned the sweating off. Yeah, the silencer still hasn't arrived. Well, the other set of silencers, so I'll try to get that going, guys. I know the vaporizer noise is kind of annoying for me, too. I shouldn't say the vaporizer noise. The vaporizer itself is fucking silent. It's just the bong attachment. Heavenly. Alright, what a great episode. Ghost Train, Haze, and all. Alright, so yeah, so with all the inspiration of everyone in Entropia doing better these days. Oh, fuck, I just, I was gonna say, well, I'm gonna try to get my weight loss goal thing going and add it to the episodes too. It'll be good motivation for me to keep me on track. Because I know if I'm being watched, I tend to do things better. It's like it takes less motivation, right? Because you're like, you know, you have someone looking over your shoulder the whole time. That's why I wonder if like parents tell kids that Santa Claus is watching them all the time, just to help them get in trouble less, because they're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do all that horrible shit I was planning. Santa's watching me. Alright, let's wrap this up. See, if only I believed in Santa more, then I wouldn't have gotten in so much trouble over the years. No, who am I kidding? I believed in Santa. Patreon. Let's see, if you want to help out with that, that'd be cool. Society 6 got the shirts. If you want more shirts, Raven Jade has some of the coolest ones. She's the Entropian vampire. Check it out. GameKit is the get paid to be a gamer, but do it on Entropia Partners instead. It's better. Hideout TV, watch videos, get paid. Sort of like ad revenue in YouTube, except it pays it out to viewers and creators. Bitcoin is the lottery spins. Did I do the lottery spins today? Let me check quick. Well, even if I did do them, I got time for another one. So let's see, we're up at 24,675 Satoshi. Let's roll. Right, 24,069 3 Satoshi. Yes, I like the sounds of that. Get your mind out of the gutter. Alright. Did I not even show the Satoshi thing again? I did. I've done that like 4 or 5 episodes in a row. So I always forget that I'm on the other screen, and then I'm looking at the screen when I open it. Piece of shit. Oh well. Hopefully I'll learn for next time. Right, so Bitcoin, and yes, the virtual mate sex machine. It's for adults and men only. But they're thinking about adapting it to women in the future. But if you need a sex machine in the meantime, I'm just kidding, unless you're near Toronto. Or am I kidding? No, I'm just kidding. Alright, let's see, what else was there? The Entropia Zine, and I'm going to start listing all the other Entropian YouTubers. Got to get around to it. Made a huge to-do list of things, and fuck, I'm falling behind on all of them. Well, I'll try to get some shit done, guys. I'll get my act together. You just wait and see. Wait, probably more than see. Right, take care. If you happen to get any dust from fire crystal in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. But if you have an easy time finding the fire crystal teleporter and you're going to come to the sweat event, and maybe you're not even going to come to it, but you like the episode anyways, and you can help with a like, I really appreciate it. But yeah, big shout out to everyone at the oil rig. Hope you guys liked the episode too. And if anyone can help with joining the show on Skype sometime, that'd be cool. Hopefully some of you guys, if you don't have Skype already, can set it up. Or just tell me whatever else you use, GameSpeak, whatever the jazz is these days. Alright, what else was there? I think that's everything. Okay, take care everyone, and make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now. There it is. Alright, see you later everyone. Make sure to share the information about the big Swunt event and Bonnie's auction. I'll have updates on that soon too, I hope. Take care, here's 2 videos and a subscribe.